Hi there! Welcome to What is Islam Academy. Let's learn about Islam together.
The topic of Prophet Muhammad's, peace be upon him, multiple marriages is often misunderstood and used to question his character. Critics claim he was motivated by desire, but this ignores the historical context and his well-known reputation for honesty, humility, and compassion, even among his enemies. He lived simply, often in poverty, and was never known for seeking luxury or indulgence. To understand his marriages, we must look past modern assumptions and examine the evidence with sincerity. Each marriage served a unique purpose, rooted in compassion, social responsibility, and the needs of the early Muslim community. These unions were not about self-indulgence, but about sacrifice, leadership, and building a strong foundation for the Muslim Ummah. Let's explore the real reasons behind these marriages and the legacy they left for generations. Before discussing his later marriages, we must recognize the Prophet's, peace be upon him, first and longest marriage to Khadijah. At 25, he married Khadijah, a respected businesswoman 15 years his senior, and remained devoted to her for 25 years. Their marriage was built on love, respect, and unwavering support. She was his confidant and the mother of his children. During this time, he was known for his integrity and lived a simple, upright life. When the first revelation came, Khadijah was his first believer and greatest supporter. He remained monogamous until her death, despite living in a society where polygamy was common. His grief after her passing was profound, and he spoke of her with love for the rest of his life. This long, faithful marriage challenges the narrative that he was driven by desire. Only after Khadijah's death, when the Prophet, peace be upon him, was over 50, did he marry other women. These marriages were not about romance, but about leadership and compassion for a vulnerable community. His first marriage after Khadijah was to Sauda, an elderly widow in need of protection. Most of his later marriages followed this pattern, acts of mercy and social responsibility. Each union served a specific purpose, building alliances, caring for widows, and uniting tribes. In Arabia, marriage was a key tool for forging peace and loyalty. The Prophet's household was marked by austerity, not luxury. Managing a large family was a burden he accepted for the sake of the community, not personal comfort. His marriages were sacrifices for the welfare of his people and the mission of Islam. 7th century Arabia was a world of tribes where alliances were forged through marriage. The Prophet, peace be upon him, used this tradition to unite rival clans under Islam. For example, his marriage to Juwayriya led to the freeing of her tribe's captives and transformed former enemies into allies. Most of his wives were widows or divorcees needing protection, and his marriages gave them dignity and security. Unlike rulers who married for power, the Prophet's unions were acts of nation-building and compassion. He broke down tribal barriers, showing that piety, not lineage, was the true measure of honor in Islam. Each marriage was a lesson in unity, mercy, and social justice. The idea that the Prophet, peace be upon him, married for pleasure is a myth. Except for Aisha, all his wives were widows or divorcees, many well beyond their youth. These women were chosen for their character, circumstances, or the strategic importance of their families. Sauda was an elderly widow. Zainab bint Khuzaimah was known for her charity. Salama was an older widow with children. Habiba, daughter of a fierce enemy, was left alone in Abyssinia and honored through marriage to the Prophet. Each wife, titled Mother of the Believers, played a vital role in the community, as scholars, teachers, and leaders. Their stories reveal a household built on compassion and service, not indulgence. The Prophet's marriages preserved knowledge and strengthened the Muslim community. The marriage to Aisha is often criticized today, but must be understood in its historical context. In 7th century Arabia, and many other societies, marriage after puberty was normal and not seen as immoral. The union with Aisha also strengthened ties with Abu Bakr, the Prophet's closest companion. The marriage was public, celebrated, and accepted by the community. Similar practices existed in other cultures, including Judeo-Christian traditions. Singling out the Prophet for criticism ignores the norms of his time. Aisha became a leading scholar, transmitting thousands of hadith and preserving the Prophet's teachings. Her unique perspective enriched Islamic knowledge for generations. Islam did not invent polygamy but regulated and restricted it. The Quran limited men to 4 wives with strict conditions of justice, so strict that monogamy is often encouraged. The Prophet's, peace be upon him, marriages beyond 4 were a unique, divinely mandated exception for the sake of his mission. The Quran explicitly allowed this only for him, forbidding further marriages after his household was established. His marriages set legal and social precedents, not privileges for personal gain. The knowledge, alliances, and compassion resulting from these unions were essential for the survival of early Islam. His life demonstrated the law, not an escape from it. The Prophet's wives were not secluded, they were central to the education of the Muslim community. As mothers of the believers, they preserved and taught the Prophet's private and public life. Aisha especially became a leading scholar, narrating thousands of hadith and teaching the next generation. Other wives like Salama and Hafsa were also renowned for their knowledge and wisdom. Hafsa safeguarded the original Quran manuscript. The wives taught women and men, ensuring the faith's teachings were accurately preserved. The prophetic household became a center of learning, with his wives as its esteemed teachers. Their contributions are foundational to Islamic civilization. Despite relentless opposition, the Prophet's, peace be upon him, enemies never accused him of sexual impropriety. They attacked his message and character in every way, but never questioned his marriages. His unions were public, respected, and understood as acts of compassion and strategy. He married widows and women in need, not for pleasure or luxury. The silence of his enemies on this issue is powerful evidence of his integrity. Modern criticisms ignore the reality witnessed by those who knew him best. His marriages were a testament to his compassion, leadership, and the sacred duty of his mission.